dedication to your health. My name is Alexis. I'm a registered dietitian. Okay, all good. I'm a registered dietitian. I work for Cone Health. And today we're going to talk about eating healthy in general for your heart, for your body, but also not breaking the bank. So the handouts that you see in front of you, if you didn't get handouts, they're at the back of the room as well. And then I have some laminated ones if you just want to take a picture and have it on your phone or something. But you have one sheet that gives you just your basic foundation and generals of how we can kind of shop smart and kind of the general basics of that. But I also happen to know a CPA, so I had him give me some just basic financial tips that he would recommend to any one of his clients. So I just put out that as some general foundations. Because it kind of made sense to me, right, to talk about a little general finances, because a lot of us didn't get financial education, did we? Unless we went and got the CPA, like a lot of us don't know about bank accounts and credit cards and what even is an interest rate. I don't know, but it sucks your bank account dry, right? So I figured it'd be helpful to put that in there. Because if we're talking about eating on a budget, we're also talking about just finances generally and allocating our funds appropriately, right? Like what's important. So what's important? Just think back to elementary school, primary school, first grade. Think about what are the basic needs of a human being. Very basic. What can we not survive without? Tell me. Housing, so shelter, food, clothing. Shelter, food, and clothing, right? Is that about it? There are only a handful of basic things that we need to survive, right? So understanding what are my priorities when we're talking about finances is really important. And we all have different budgets. Some of us might be homeless and have a $0 budget. Other of us might be a millionaire, right? But all of us have a budget, no matter what that looks like. Does it make sense to have food not on the priority list? So I think that's basic one. Number one is making your food a priority. Do we make eating a priority? Do we? Do we skip meals? Do we miss meals? I had a pack of crackers, I'm good. Is that making eating a priority?
No.
Oops. I think what happens over time is we get stressed, we feel overwhelmed, we have a lot going on, don't we? Think about all the responsibilities you have just as a basic human, okay? Now think about the world around you. We've got like a layered onion of like overwhelming nonsense happening all the time, don't we? We got kids, we got significant others, we have aging parents, we have work, we have all the stuff happening in the universe to think about. So everything starts to layer up. And what ends up being at the bottom? Eating. And if you're not prioritizing your eating, who aren't you prioritizing? Yourself, right? Looks like we got women in here. You think women are kind of the worst at that? I hate to generalize, but generally speaking, right? Because we're the caregivers for our home. We're taking care of our significant other. We're taking care of our kids. We're taking care of our aging parents. We're taking care of our aunties and our cousins. Well, where does that leave you? Tell me, why am I starting off talking about this? Why am I not just telling you, this is what you should do, this is how you should eat? Why am I not doing that? Increase the plan. Ooh, okay. I like it. But that's exactly right? It's about how do I get buy-in? How do I get buy-in to taking care of myself? What's going to motivate me to make change? Is change not really hard? Now, so change in general is really hard, right? Now we're talking about change in our personal lives and change that is all centered around you. So you have to believe that you are worth putting in this much effort. And yeah, it is effort. I'm not going to lie about that. There's no like loophole to self-care, is there? Like it's going to take time. And you know what? It's going to be every day. It's not one of these like, once a month sounds good. But what makes it difficult to perform self-care? Because eating well is a part of self-care, isn't it? Do you shower most days of the week? We prioritize showering. Do we think of eating as important as showering? Probably not. Not when we think about it. Not if we're skipping meals. Not if we're like, I'll just grab this bar, I'll just grab this protein shake, right? Because you don't just do a little bird bath, right? You're not just like, let me sponge off a little bit. No, you're gonna take a full shower, right? It's the same thing. Pack of crackers equals a sponge bath. How about that? Analogy, for you. Right? Now, there's a lot of barriers to self-care, okay? So we talked about taking care of everybody else around us. Does finances have to be one? No, it doesn't. But there's a lot of things that we misunderstand about eating well. And especially if we find out we have heart disease. Oh my God, I have heart disease. I can only eat acai berry, and it has to be from like Whole Foods, and it has to be prepared by a fancy chef who knows what they're doing. Is that true? No. But as humans, okay, we make decisions based off of emotion. Not necessarily fact and logic, right? So if you really sat down, really thought about it, you'd probably figure it all out. But ain't nobody got time for that, right? We got too much going on to like analyze our foods and think about it, right? So that's why you're here today, is to make it simple. That's my job as a dietitian, is to make it easy. Because it is complicated out there, isn't it? So let's talk about it. So what's really awesome, okay, which is like really cool, is that there's a total overlap to healthy eating for your heart health in particular and a healthy budget. Complete overlap. The things that are the cheapest in your grocery cart is the best for your heart. That's pretty cool, right? Now we have to think about, do I like these foods? That might be a whole other thing, right? So the biggest thing is that I hear all the time how expensive healthy eating is. Like that is a conversation I have all the time. So when they asked me to do this talk, I was like, got that one in the bag, easy peasy, do it all the time, right? So I'm just gonna pass out some handouts that you guys can kind of pass around the room and take a look at, that kind of thing, because we're gonna talk about like grocery shopping in a minute. But people tell me healthy eating is too expensive, right? What's your alternative to grocery shopping? Shout it out. If you're not grocery shopping, where are you getting your food?
DoorDash.
Right? Okay. This is what we're doing. Or eating out, right? What is this? Oh yeah, we know that. That's that fast food, that's that Burger King, okay? And if you're like me, you're a big fan of that Walmart, okay? I'm a human, just so you guys know. Like, I have been known to dabble in fast food. But there's a big difference between eating it daily, eating it weekly, eating it monthly, right? So back in my day, fast food was a special occasion then. I was like, ooh, you got your braces today. I feel bad. Let's get you a burger, right? Or like, ooh, you had to go to church and it was a long one. Let's get you a burger. That kind of thing. Special event. Nowadays, think about maybe your own diet, maybe your friend's diet, your kids' friend's diet, or your own kids. How often are we eating this? This used to be like just funsies luxury. Now it's where we're getting our main source of nutrition. And this is a luxury. This isn't your food basics, right? Because do you get nutrition from this? Like vitamins, minerals, fibers. How do you feel after you eat these foods? Sleepy, sluggish, bloated, diarrhea. You know, a lot of people don't link their diarrhea to eating out. Especially because sometimes it happens a day or two later. Right? And it kind of builds up for us. Like maybe we could have handled fast food one day, but when we ate it 3 days in a row, right? So getting back to money, because I'm going to kind of go in and out of money and finances and health, because this is our health bank account. That's why I made this little picture that I'm very proud of with the help of AI. Health is wealth. It's a vault in the shape of a heart. Try that one. Because that's exactly what we're talking about, isn't it? Okay, so how much is this Whopper meal? Does anybody know?
$9.
$9, you wish. What else? What's another guess?
$13.
$13.76. $13.79 for one meal. Most of us don't live alone. Most of us have some other person we're also buying the meal for, or a couple other people. 13 times 4? I'm not the accountant, whatever that is. Right? Okay? People are like, oh yeah, McDonald's. McDonald's is cheaper. This is good. Here's McDonald's. How much is this Big Mac meal? $15? 11? $10.19. It is cheaper, but some of us are like, oh, cool, I'm good. That's still $10 on a meal, right? Never mind what happens when you eat fast food over time to your heart. Not to throw shade at healthcare, because I work for the system, most of us do, but it's pricey. We're paying all that money to insurance. Then we gotta pay for these doctor bills, hospital bills, pill bills, right? A lot of the things we got going on is directly linked to what and how we eat. That's bananas, isn't it? You guys have heard you are what you eat. It's totally true. Okay. What's that slash number? /19. Huh?
The upsize.
Yeah, well you had said it earlier. You said DoorDash. Whoa. What? $10 if you go get it. $19 if you have it delivered. How many of us do that? We do it. We're at work, had a long day, let me just get it sent to me. There is an upcharge, guys. The menu item gets pricier, then you have to pay for that delivery fee, and you gotta give the person a tip. Almost $20 for something that an hour later, you'd be like, feeling a little naughty, right? Okay, how about this one? Chicken sandwich, it's healthier. How much is this one? This is from, where's this from? This is from, oh, Chick-fil-A. Oh, I know you guys like Chick-fil-A. I've seen those lines. How much is this Chick-fil-A sandwich? Just the sandwich, not the meal. I knew you guys went to Chick-fil-A. $6.59. What is that price?
That is crazy.
We don't think about it though, do we? Why don't we think about it? Because we got work to worry about. We got that car note to worry about. We got that kid to take care of. We got that auntie to take care of. We're not thinking, oh my God, I just spent $20 on a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Also, do these sandwiches look the same to you? I feel like I came upon a conspiracy theory when I was doing this. This is a Chick-fil-A sandwich. This is a Bojangles sandwich. But I thought Chick-fil-A was healthier. Then why be looking the same as Bojangles? I'm just saying. So we know the price. How about health? What's this? Whole sheet of words. What is this? To what? One Chick-fil-A sandwich. This is the ingredients list. Might there be some things that your body's not too happy with in here? Okay. There's that. Now, what's the guess? Let's say you make your own cheeseburger meal. Okay, and fries. Fries and cheeseburger meal. Okay, hamburgers, the most expensive thing on your grocery list. Okay, so I did 93%, so the high end. I did a whole wheat bun. What's your guess?
$2.
Right on the money. That's my homemade hamburger. $1.80. That's including French fries, lettuce, tomato, mayo. What is that about? So when people tell me it's expensive to eat healthy, it's expensive to grocery shopping, is that true? No, absolutely not. Because if we're not grocery shopping, then we're eating out. What is your alternative? Does it suck that tuna's $1.25 nowadays and not 50 cents? Yes. But that's the world we're living in, isn't it? There's not much we can do about that. But you don't have to play their game either. You don't have to get name brand stuff. You don't have to get Uncle Ben's rice. Uncle Ben's rice is expensive. How much is that bag of brown rice though? $2 and you got rice for a month. But, you know, it depends on your budget. Some of us, it's not in our budget to buy Uncle Ben's rice. Some of us have a budget where we can pay for convenience. And that's okay too. Because there are ways to have a healthy diet and it'll be more convenient for us. Like, for example, the pre-made minute brown rices. But you will pay. The more I put in the handout, the more it's like touched. So the more it's like processed, you're gonna pay for that. I think that's important to understand, right? So if it's not your budget to buy bags of lettuce, the pre-made salads, then it's not your budget. But you have to make the time for yourself to make these foods too, right? So the biggest thing is that healthy eating is not more expensive, but the problem is we have trouble with analyzing in the moment, don't we? So if we have a lot going on in our lives, right? Mom's just diagnosed with dementia. The car broke down. The boss is on our backs. We're not sitting there thinking, oh, my grocery bill is $100, but that actually works out to about $5 a meal, and then I'm covered for about 2 weeks for $100. You're not sitting there figuring that out, are you? You're figuring out, I just went to McDonald's and I got my meal and we're done. So sometimes too, it's not even about finances, is it? Maybe it's the mental burden. Maybe you're thinking more about the mental cost and not the financial cost, right? Because that's what I said earlier, it does take work to eat well, especially if you're not used to it. I get it. I grew up with fish sticks and canned green beans. The idea of cooking was weird and new to me, right? So we do have a lot of barriers beyond finances. So in what we just learned, does finances have to be a barrier to eating well? No. So this is actually perfect timing. So take a look at your handouts. See if you have any questions. Let's talk about it. Ask me what you're thinking. Do you guys like beans? Beans are really good for your heart and your butt. Yes. Beans are cheap. You could do a can of beans. You don't have to do dried beans. That does take more work and thought. So what's a good meal to have with beans? You just do bean soup. You do classic beans and rice. You do beans with some shredded chicken and a bag of frozen broccoli. It's pretty quick. Pre-prep some more chicken. What other questions do we have? Yes?
Which one did it stop you from doing rice?
Oh yes, thank you for that. So if you look at those handouts floating around, the yogurt in particular is pretty helpful. So if you're looking at the unit price, so if you see the one floating around, it shows you where that unit price is, and it's smaller at the bottom. You'll need your glasses when you go to the grocery store below that large one. So you're thinking about your future, just like finances. You save in your savings account for yourself for later. Your retirement is for later. You do that with your food too. You take care of yourself not by buying one little single serve of yogurt, because that's only one snack for one day, versus buying the larger yogurt. And buying in bulk isn't always cheaper, but if you go by the unit price, it'll tell you. So for this yogurt, the retail price is 72 cents. You might go, sweet, I'll get 6. Versus that larger yogurt, that's $1.62. But look at the unit price per ounce, per serving. That's only 5 cents versus the 12 cents. Yes, your bill's higher in that moment, but that's less money you're saving over time in the weeks and the months. Does that make sense? So that unit price is very valuable, especially when you're looking at sales. Woo boy, they can really get you like $3, sweet. But really, it's like, wait a minute, it's $1 per ounce, you know? So that unit price is really powerful. Take the time to use it at the grocery store. It really is your best friend. Don't get suckered into deals or sales. Really look at that unit price. Does that make sense? It's tiny, it's hard to see. What other questions do we have? So, yeah.
Have any apps like Eva for
Yeah.
people that are like hesitant on? Okay, I speak to like my parents, they buy a lot of processed stuff.
Yes.
I think they get overwhelmed by like what to choose.
Yes.
They're used to one after like they've always bought.
Yes.
Sometimes the ingredients are changed.
Yes. So yes, there's a lot of apps like Yoga's Alright that can kind of show you, like they'll have like a rating on it, or they'll have like green is go, red is not go. So I think apps can be very useful if you're tech savvy and you have your phone there and available. Nowadays you can take pictures of stuff and it'll tell you how it is. But I'm a big fan of educating yourself and knowing what you're getting into. I think the easiest way to do this, especially for heart health, is if it's from Mother Earth, eat it. Where does a banana come from? A tree. You may not know this. Where does a potato come from? And that's it. Thank you guys.